the craziest thing that you've ever done to get a man? Did you ever swallow a tapeworm?
Oh, God. That's disgusting.
Endure a painful beauty procedure without anesthesia? How about cutting off your foot to fit your sister's shoe? I know, Elvira in The Ugly Stepsister goes to extreme measures to win over the rich and handsome Prince Julian. However, I believe that The Ugly Stepsister is more about a reimagining of Cinderella. It's a dark parody of how crazy modern dating and romance has become. From early childhood, many of us women read books thinking that falling in love is going to be easy.
Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody.
It's going to happen naturally and when we least expect it. Then as we get older, we are told that we need to compete with other women, that we need to change ourselves and behave in certain ways that makes us more appealing and desirable to the opposite sex.
I thought she was rather hard on her.
I thought she could have gone harder.
Quiet.
But sadly, by adopting this mindset, we become pygmies or doormats, seeking to please everyone else, all the while neglecting ourselves. In this video, I'm going to break down The Ugly Stepsister and explain why it hits very close to home when it comes to love, dating, and desirability. So stay tuned.
You're the one. I pick you to be my princess.
Have you noticed that there's very few romance movies nowadays, aside from traditional fairy tales like Cinderella? Why? Well, because people just can't get the romance genre right. Amazon's remaking of Cinderella tried to turn her into a modern-day woman. Cinderella, instead of dreaming of marrying the prince, wanted to be a dressmaker. Okay, it's good for a girl to have other aspirations aside from just being a wife. Then she refuses the prince because marrying him would interfere with her career, a career that she hadn't established yet.
Oh, but please, stepmother, I have to go. My future depends on it. I spent weeks making this dress so that I could show women from all over the world that I...
Now keep in mind that this is a woman who was abused and mistreated, living in her stepmother's basement, a basement that was infested with rodents, by the way.
Sure, the prince will definitely pick you.
I doubt it. I'm dirty. I smell like a basement. My best friends are mice.
I will just find you at the ball.
Yet she manages to fall in love with the prince in a matter of 3 minutes. But she turns him down, even though marrying him would solve all her family's financial problems.
Cinderella, I don't know how you did what you did last night, but the prince chose you. He loves you. Marry him and all of our problems will be solved.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm just not buying that. I think a lot of women are in the same boat. Now many women have taken off the rose-colored glasses, realizing that love is freaking hard. I'm sure that it doesn't have to be, but society and all of its efforts to keep us broken and miserable will trap us into this vicious cycle of serial dating. Worse, we are taught to go through life seeking validation from others, as opposed to finding trust and love and purpose within ourselves. Let me explain.
Du. Bakut. Agnes Framot. Jeszcze raz.
You see, there's a grooming phase that kind of happens in real life and also in movies. I know it sounds like some really serious Epstein Island kind of stuff, but remember, we're talking about dark comedy and horror. After all, Rebecca was more like a madam than a mother in The Ugly Stepsister. This woman put the gold in Gold Digger, lying about her finances, all to marry a rich man.
Cinderella, now that you're an orphan, it's important for you to remember that it's only my love for your father, rest his soul, that stands between you and a life on the street.
Only she was played the fool. Turns out that the man she married was dead broke. This kind of happens in real life too. Men fake the front, renting Lamborghinis while borrowing their mother's credit card, maxing it out to the limits, all to get some poo-poo. Now the woman feels like she's got a real winner on her hands, only to find out that the man that she's fallen for is badly in debt and sleeping on his mother's couch. The point that I'm trying to make is that people are all about illusions nowadays, and perception has become more important than focusing on what's real.
Well, I'm not allowed at the ball. And quite frankly, I think you're a figment of my imagination.
Okay, let's not ruin this incredibly magical moment with reason.
Worse, for the love of money, people are willing to put up with crazy amounts of abuse. Elvira laughed when her stepfather threw cake in her face instead of shoving the whole damn thing down his throat. And Cinderella put up with terrible amounts of mistreatment from her stepmother and stepsisters. Why not just run away? Now, you could argue that times were tough back then and times were different. Women literally needed a man to survive. But then that thought would lead me to my next point, the desperation of dating.
In this life, you must marry rich. Get yourself a man who can pay for everything, and then you will never so much as have to hang your wet undergarments again.
Now, my friends, it's one thing to be hungry. It's a whole other thing to be starving. After Elvira's stepfather passed away, she learns that her Asian mother would have a difficult time remarrying, of course. The solution, Rebecca decides to marry off her daughter, but not just to anyone. She focuses on winning over Prince Julian. Now, getting married to a man of means is difficult for a modern girl and even an aspiring trad wife. But many people treat the endeavor like it's a monetary investment. They get the breast implants, the BBLs, the hair extensions, the designer clothes, and if all else fails, there is always a $20 beauty filter that you can purchase. But sadly, Elvira focuses on changing the outside and not the inside.
Honestly, who cares what I think? Who cares what anyone thinks? What matters is how you feel when you look in the mirror.
That's deep.
She goes to charm school where she is shunned and berated by her dance teacher. Her food portions are cut drastically where she is only drinking lemon water. And worse, she is forced to endure painful cosmetic procedures to conform to traditional beauty standards. Only the pressure for Elvira to win is stronger than ever before. Everyone from her mother to the dressmaker is depending on her to become a rich bitch. They want her to come back and take care of them. And like many people stressing out from the pressure, Elvira overeats. Yet again, there is another solution, a tapeworm. A tapeworm that would rob her of all of her nutrients. But hey, she could eat whatever she wanted and still be thin. This plot point represents a turning point for Elvira's story, where the whimsical dream of falling in love with Prince Julian becomes a nightmare of contempt and desperation. She starts to receive praise and validation, and as a result, she craves more of it. She gets the winning part in her dance routine, turns heads at Prince Julian's ball, and even catches his eye.
Yes, future queen, yes!
What's that, Prince? You'd like to dance? Get in line, Your Highness.
That is, of course, before Agnes walks in and steals the show. Now, my friends, Elvira could have settled for being second best. She could have snagged up a duke or lord of some lost and faraway land. Yet her ego was starving for validation, and she needed to be with Prince Julian or die trying. Now, Agnes, on the other hand, wasn't starving. She was grieving from her father's death, yes. She was mad for having to share her dresses with her ungrateful stepsisters, yes. But she seemed to be content, finding love with a certain stable boy.
No. Do not cast your eyes on some farm boy. In this life, you must marry rich.
Of course, when Rebecca finds out about her secret love affair, she goes crazy. Why? Because what woman in her right mind will give it all away for free? Whereas Cinderella is demoted to a house servant, forced to wait on her stepsisters, and forbidden from going to Prince Julian's ball.
See, it's time the prince finally find his wife. That's right, all the single ladies should be getting excited because every single one to the ball is invited to take a bath, do your hair, buy a fancy new dress, paint your nails, you got a prince to impress, yes.
However, Agnes is different from Elvira in many ways. One, she doesn't really care about what people think about her, thus her decision to love a stable boy as opposed to a rich, lofty nobleman. Two, she never changed who she was to please her suitors, or the people around her for that matter. And three, she never clipped the wings of another woman so that she could fly. Agnes, unlike Elvira, didn't let the pressure of it all change her. She didn't smash someone's knees, Tanya Harding style, so she could win. She just walked in and snagged the prize, fair and square. After Agnes wins over Prince Julian's heart, Elvira still believes that there is just something that she can do to win. She still believes that she needs to change certain aspects of herself to be liked and loved and accepted. So what does she do? She hacks off her foot so that she can fit Agnes's shoes. The only problem is she can't walk. So she tumbles down the stairs, breaking her nose and chipping her tooth in the process. When she finally emerges, she is indeed the ugly stepsister. Worse, she is forced to watch Agnes walk off with Prince Julian, the winning prize. Yet Elvira seems to be smiling through the pain of it all. For the first time in a long time, she is finally free from the expectations of being beautiful and perfect all the time. She is free from the aspects of having to fit into modern day dating society. More importantly, she is free from the vicious dating game that zaps her self-confidence and robs her of her soul. She is free to be ugly and loved. So what do you think The Ugly Stepsister was all about? Sound off in the comments below.